We hear about the Jewish settlements in the West Bank on the news all of the time, yet few of us have actually had the opportunity to visit them for ourselves. Well, one Florida designer decided it was time to do just that, and joining me now in the studio to tell us his amazing story is Joseph Wax and his friend David Vatka. Hello, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so let's begin by just asking you what exactly prompted the decision to visit the West Bank?
So we call it Israel, Judea and Samaria. It's been 50 years since 1967. And I'm not part of the military, I'm not a politician, but I've traveled throughout Israel and we've met some of the most fabulous, amazing people in little cities, in settlements across Israel. And I don't have the 50-year solution, and I do know there's issues out there, but I definitely know that the settlements are, and the yeshuvim out there, and the cities and the people are definitely not getting the right voice. And once people meet them and interact with their families.
So you set up a tour essentially to go out and see these homes, these neighborhoods, and get to know all these people. Now, where do all these strangers come in? You said that it wasn't just you. You
Right.
set up a tour with 50 buses, was it?
Right.
Okay, so how many people were with you, and how did that end up looking, I guess?
So right before we left Miami to Israel for the summer, we just announced that we're doing 50 buses for the 50 years. From 1967 to 2017, let's celebrate. And we announced it on local Facebook, just on my personal Facebook account, and it went out there, and we had an anonymous donor from Miami helping us out and making sure it went really well. And when we were here, I mean, we filled up 47 buses from all over the world.
And you were one of those people on those buses, correct?
Yes, well, I just arrived last week, unfortunately a bit late. I got a call from Joseph about what's been going on, and I've been coming the past few years with him anyway.
So how did this, going on this trip with so many different people, seeing these, these settlements, how did it change your perspective of what was happening on the ground here?
So I think that the people there are just unbelievable people, and Israel is such a small country, and everyone's got solutions here, but practically speaking, we've got to embrace the country the way it is right now. It's, like I said before, 50 years since 1967, we have to be able to accept the reality on the ground. I don't have the solution to what happened on the Temple Mount, but primarily what we were doing is just sharing the love. Education was one of our biggest points here, because most people in Israel have never been to Judea and Samaria. I had a taxi driver that I took him all the way to Tekoa. He's never been there, 50 years old. And he served in the army.
Well, yeah, it's clear that there are definitely a lot of stereotypes that exist about these communities here in Israel, not just abroad. So it seems like you really provided a lot of people with an opportunity to kind of see what's happening here on the ground. So what would you say the overall message of this trip was?
So the people, education is number one and it's foremost. Go there, visit the communities, educate yourselves, understand them, and just experience the love. The people there are fabulous, they're gorgeous, and they just want love from the rest of the country. And from the Jewish world, a stronger Israel is going to be a stronger world.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us and for providing so many people with the opportunity to see these settlements for themselves.
Thank you for having us.